If you are struggling how to hold your leash and give rewards at the same time, today we're going to be introducing doing both of them together in a low distraction environment, which is going to help set you up for success once we get out and about. Welcome back to day 5 of our 30-day loose leash walking challenge. My name is Kristen from Salty Pack. So you'll see a demonstration in just a minute with Millie the Staffy, but what we're going to be doing today is tying in us being able to give rewards and holding the leash at the same time. You might have done a little bit of this on day 3 with Holly when we were working on just using our rewards, but today I want to introduce using the leash a little bit more for us. I gave a demonstration in the video, but just in case you needed a closer look for it, how we do our thumb grip. I'm right-handed, and just for today, if you are walking your dog on your left-hand side, we're gonna be holding the leash in our right hand. So we're gonna do a backwards L, grab somewhere close-ish to your dog that you don't want them to be getting too far out away from you, and that basically creates another loop that's very similar to the end of your leash right here. You'll join those guys up on your thumb and grab everything that you can. Sometimes people will just grab like a small little bit. I want you to grab everything that you can. That's why I personally prefer smaller, more thin leashes so that I can grab everything a little bit easier. And what that does is create a really nice solid thumb grip. We're gonna be using that throughout the challenge and showing you how to go back and forth a little bit later. Just for today though, it's just going to be in your right hand so that when you give your rewards with your left hand, we're framing up the dog on that left-hand side. So yes, it might feel a little awkward because your leash is going to be coming across your body. But again, today is just getting used to holding the leash and rewarding. Like what we did on day 3 with Holly, try and continue to work on having your dog move while taking food. So it can be a little bit clunky. Again, we've got an extra thing in our hand today, which is the leash. So we're gonna have the leash, reward, using your marker, YES, then we're gonna mark and move, giving our dogs food while we are moving. It's a lot to think about. Another thing that, just for a reminder, same for those who have a little bit nibbly dogs or you're just kind of working on them taking food a little bit nicer from your hand. I still want quite a lot of drive from our dogs, but similar, we can hold the treat just in between our thumb like that. I'm hoping that's gonna be in, there we go. If that's gonna be in the frame, just in between the thumb, or if it feels better for you, just in between a couple of fingers. Let's see if I can give Artie the reward there. There you go, so that's that way. Everybody's gonna be lighting up now. So we can lure him back, and then that's what it's gonna look like as you're walking. And when I'm ready, I just release my thumb for it. So working on our leash handling, backwards L, find another spot, loop, and then grab everything, as well as rewarding with that left-hand side. Today is going to be another day that we're just going to be staying in the backyard, or if you don't have a backyard, just somewhere low distraction for your dog. So we're not going for a bigger walk today. Remember that you can always be supplementing a little bit of your dog's energy levels towards doing things like sniffing games, doing things like play, doing things like learning new tricks. So just for the first kind of couple of weeks, it's mostly working on your handler skills so that we can better communicate with our dogs. But yes, I definitely acknowledge our dogs still need a little bit of an outlet. So make sure that we're balancing that throughout the challenge for the first couple of weeks. I also hear a lot of you at home going, but Kristen, if I put on my dog's leash, they're gonna think that they're going for a walk. I totally get it. The benefit as well too of doing some of this stuff at home is if you have a very excitable dog just with the presence of the leash or even putting it on, over these next couple of weeks, that's actually gonna start to diminish. We're gonna start to desensitize the fact that having the leash on doesn't always mean that we're going for a walk. Plus, if that is you that has a dog that goes from 0 to 100 because of the presence of the leash, that's something that I want us to work through anyways. I don't want us leaving our front door with a already super pumped up dog. So these are gonna be good activities, particularly for those of you who have very excitable dogs when the leash goes on, to start to bring down some of that arousal before we even leave the house. So it might feel a little bit clunky at first as you start to work on today's skills. Just start slow, move up, pick up your speed and pace as you continue to go on, and it'll feel more fluid. Remember, if we can do it in the backyard, that'll make it much easier for us once we go out and about as well. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Trust the process. And as always, remember to grab your phone just so that you can film, just in case anything doesn't go according to plan. We can kind of break that down. Always feel free to reach out with questions if you have any. Make sure that you get your dog's food, either their breakfast or dinner that you're already going to be feeding them, or some nice treats that they might enjoy a little bit extra. Make sure that your dog is hungry, so don't feed them beforehand, and have some fun with your dog today. All right, so today we're going to be focusing on our leash handling as well as adding in our rewards. So this can be done just in your backyard, but I want you to use the leash today. And if you are in an apartment or don't have enough space or something like that, come out to a quiet park, hopefully, is going to be a nice option for you guys as well too. So for our leash handling for today, it's just going to be in the right hand. We're not going to focus on going back and forth from right to left. The reason that I want the leash in the right hand is so that we can also practice the rewards with that left hand. So I want the food either in your pocket, if you've got a treat pouch, on your left hip, or around the back. So today we're going to focus on having a nice loose leash walk, but in doing that, I also don't want to get them the entire length of the leash. I want us to start to practice a little bit of our handling. So with a backwards L, I'm going to also create another loop here with my leash, with my left hand. That loop is going to meet up with this one, and then we're going to have a nice solid grip. So pick a spot that is the distance that I'm comfortable with Millie being away from me before she gets that input. How I'm going to kind of set up this exercise is I'm going to kind of walk in a few different directions. If she hits the end of the leash, that's okay. She'll kind of figure that out. But I also want us to focus on our mark, then move. So give your marker of YES, then reach for your food to be able to give the food with your left hand. Remember that we're rewarding with our left hand if we have the dog on our left hand side, because I don't want them starting to creep forward if we're rewarding with the outside hand, right? So this is going to be a triggering thing for your dog to come over to. So I want us to try and frame them up on that left-hand side. So in a minute, I'm just gonna start to move with Millie. I'm gonna make sure that I just have that leash in my right hand, sorry, and then using my rewards with my left hand to frame her up. So mark, then move, leash handling, and we're also just focusing on what we did for the rewarding of just having them framed up on that left-hand side. So we can start to introduce our let's go cue if you have not already. Millie, let's go. Yes. And keep it moving as you're walking. Good. A little change of direction. She just got a tiny little leash input from me. Yes. Mark, then move. We can start to do some cut-ins as well, just changing that direction. And notice the leash is just in my right hand. Yes. Super demo, girl. Keep moving. Let's go. Yes. Nice, girly. Good. She even gets a little bit of leash input if she's kind of going, if she's lagging behind. Yes. Good. We can try an outside turn here. Yes. Nice. Good girl. Nice. You can do some verbal praise. You're right there. Yes. Nice job, Millie. Good. Good. So kind of keep it free flowing. I'm just going to give her a little bit of the shade. Nice job, sweetie. Keep it free flowing. Try different types of change of direction. That's all it really needs to be. If you cannot do this in the backyard, we won't be able to do it when there's heaps of other things around if we've got an excitable dog for it. So it's just getting you guys a little bit more focused on your leash handling, which it makes you more confident once we exit the backyard. Keep practicing that in the backyard. If that feels a little bit funny, are you okay? Keep practicing in the backyard or in a low distraction environment, just more for our handling, right? So that's the big kind of goal for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and ask any questions as they come up. Let's go, girl. If you found this video helpful and you want more videos like it, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. All right, my boy, you ready? Good. Bye.